Welcome back, everyone. I'm here with Dave Snyder. He's the chef and also the owner of Halyards Restaurant and Tramici, which is an Italian place over in the Golden Isles area. And so, Dave, what are you doing right now?
I am taking some delicious wild Georgia shrimp and making a spring roll for you for breakfast.
Yum. And I told them I love spring rolls, Thai food, Asian food, one of my favorite things. So I'm very excited about this.
Yeah, and it's great. And it's a great, light, healthy way to eat. Great, delicious, fresh flavors. And what better than local Georgia shrimp? You know, the Georgia coast is known for its shrimp. It's sweet, it's succulent, and of course, being local, it's a wonderful product.
Very much so. So now, what goes into one of these spring rolls?
Well, it's really whatever you want, and that's the beauty of cooking. If you like it, put it in there. We've got cabbage, we've got red peppers, we've got some shiitake mushrooms, and we put in the poached shrimp. And if you want to, we can put a little jalapeno.
There you go. I like to add a little spice to my life.
Sure, exactly. A little basil, a little parsley, little mint. But again, it's whatever you like. And if you don't like shrimp, what about some crabs? You can poach off some crab, put some crab in your spring roll, and it's just a delicious alternative.
Great. Now, are these guys asleep still, or are they awake?
They're still sleeping. It's still a little cold out here, so they're going to wake up a little bit. We're going to poach those off and clean them up and do something else with that. We're going to make a risotto is what we're going to do.
That sounds absolutely delicious. All right, so tell us a little bit about the Golden Isle area. I've never been there before, but it sounds wonderful.
It's a great spot. It's a great group of barrier islands. You've got Jekyll Island, you've got St. Simon's Island, you've got Cumberland Island, Sea Island, and it's a great place, great people, wonderful beaches, nice and secluded, nice and quiet. When you want to get away, it's only a couple hours from here.
That sounds wonderful, and I think that would be a great thing that you could do with your family. It's not very far away, and it is the beach, and what better place is that?
Exactly, the beach. And if you want to relax and read a book, you can do that. There's some wonderful golf courses. Of course, the beach is the best. I love to fish, and you can do freshwater fishing if you want to. That's not too far away. Of course, trout and redfish in the streams and flounder this time of year. You want to go offshore and catch some grouper and some snapper. And if you want to go to the Gulf Stream, go catch some tuna.
How would you do that?
You pray a little bit and go have some fun with your friends.
There you go. That would be so fun. And you actually brought some Golden Isle things with you here today. What do you got over here?
We've just got some hats and some stickers. We're really big on the Golden Isles. We want to promote. We're proud of where we live, and we want you to come visit us.
So neat. And let's talk about this Georgia olive oil. What's that about?
That's a great success story from only about an hour and a half away, Lakeland, Georgia. The Shaw family decided to make some olive oil. It's the first olive oil produced in the state of Georgia since the 1800s.
Wow.
Yeah, and these guys did a great job. They're harvesting it quickly, right into refrigerated trucks, and they're pressing their olives within 24 hours, where most extra virgin olive oils are pressed within 20 days. They're doing it within 1 day. It's absolutely delicious.
Wow, so they must get a lot of olive oil going out of there, in and out all the time.
Yeah, they sold out in less than 4 months. They're completely out already from their very first harvest. Great story.
That's incredible, and congratulations to them. That's really great. So now, what do we have going on next?
What we're going to do next is I've got this succotash going back here, and again, like I told you before, rather than using black-eyed peas, I'm going to use boiled peanuts. So we're going to add that to the succotash. We're going to let it stew together for about 5 minutes, and we're going to give you some more breakfast.
Okay, sounds good. Can I try one of the? We're going to try this.
This is really good, and again, it's a light, healthy way to eat. There you go. We've got some peanut sauce that I made for you.
Okay. Now, how did you make the peanut sauce?
We took roasted peanuts, and we put them in a blender with a little bit of lime juice, pickled ginger juice, soy sauce, basil, mint, and coconut milk. And we just pureed it in the blender.
All right.
And again, the beauty of cooking is if you don't like basil and mint, you can put cilantro in there. If you don't want to use peanuts, you can use cashews. You can spice it up and put some jalapeno in there. The beauty of cooking, whatever you like, as long as you've got the method behind it, you can put anything you want.
There you go. And this is absolutely delicious. Now, this has the, I don't know the correct term, but it's the more clear wrapper. Do you also make the crispy wrapper?
Yes, we do. This is called a rice paper, and it's a great cold thing to eat. If you want to, you can use a different type of wrapper, and you can put it in the fryer.
Okay. And now, do they actually fry this rice paper, or is it a different type of dough?
It's a different type of dough. It holds up much more to the heat. This won't take the heat very well.
Okay. All right, fantastic. We're going to be learning more about these two restaurants in the Golden Isle area. Remember, you can visit them on Facebook, and they have their website, which is halyardsrestaurant.com, and then TramiciRestaurant.com as well. And we're going to be back out here in a few more minutes talking with the chef, Chef Dave Snyder. So you guys make sure to stay with us and learn more about their restaurants. We're going to go inside now to Welcome back, everyone. I'm here with Dave Snyder. He's the chef and the owner of Halyard's Restaurant and Tramichi Restaurant. It's in the Golden Isle area. And what's that near?
That's near Brunswick, Georgia, actually.
Okay, there you go. So we just had some spring rolls just a moment ago. And if you're just joining us, what's going on now?
Well, now we're going to try the succotash. I made succotash with, of course, corn and bacon and lima beans and peppers and Vidalia onions. It's Vidalia on Festival this week, of course. And rather than using black-eyed peas, I put in some boiled peanuts. So we're going to eat some of this for breakfast and save some for lunch.
And this looks very colorful with all those different vegetables and beans that you put inside there. Just gorgeous. And so kind of, what does this taste like?
It's kind of a sweet and salty. You've got the sweet corn, you've got the sweet red pepper, and then you got the really nice salty boiled peanuts. It's a great contrast.
Fantastic. And you said you've got some risotto going on back here now. What is that?
Risotto is a type of way to cook arborio rice. It's really great dish. It's nice and comfort food, and it's something that we serve a lot at Tramichi, our Italian restaurant. And you can see that it's got the rice, and we're stirring it a lot with butter and cheese. We're going to add some tomatoes, and what it does is gives you a nice, almost a porridge consistency. It's really just great food. And we're serving it today for lunch with some local shrimp and some local clams. We actually have a great clam farm near Sapelo Island, which is just north of us.
And so you guys use ingredients from all around Georgia, so you're using things from local farmers.
Oh yeah, of course. We're the best at getting these clams and getting this shrimp from our area. We've got a great guy by the name of Charlie Phillips. He's got this wonderful farm. He's got this airboat. He goes out over this huge mud flat, and he actually plants about 4 million clams a year. It's absolutely amazing, and they're delicious.
So you said he plants clams. What does that mean?
He takes these little baby clams about the size of a pencil eraser, and he puts them into the mud flat, and hopefully he gets about 50% yield from them. But he puts them down in the mud flat, puts them in a bag. He goes back about a year later. Hopefully they're the size of a dime. Goes back another year later. Hopefully they're the size of a quarter, and he sells them to us.
I never knew that you could plant things like that. You always think of planting plants and different herbs and things like that. So didn't know you could do that. And so now you guys have 2 websites, because these are 2 different restaurants. Halyard's is
HalyardsRestaurant.com, and Tramichi Restaurant is TramichiRestaurant.com, which is our Italian restaurant. We're open for lunch and for dinner at Tramichi, and then Halyards is dinner only.
And Halyard's, what type of food is that?
Halyards is fine dining, but we really do it in a casual setting. People that come to the beach, they want to relax. They don't want to wear a coat and tie, so we say, just come the way you are. And in fact, we have a motto. It says, jackets aren't required, only in the kitchen.
I love that. And so tell us a little bit about, because this is a great vacation area, what are some of the reasons why people should head on over to that area?
Well, of course, there's the beach. And a great beach, it's usually quiet. You can have some time to yourself. It's not packed like the bigger cities. Great people, great food, golf, tennis. And if you just want to read a book at the beach, just do that.
That sounds wonderful. So now what else do we have going on here?
Well, we're going to keep the risotto going, so next time you come back, we'll have that. I've got some crabs, some local blue crabs. We've got those steaming. We're going to crack those open and do that. That's the next dish.
Now, I missed you putting the crabs in there, because when I came out here, we were out here at 5 a.m. These guys have been here so early this morning. These crabs were moving. They were as fresh can be. And now, what did they do? Did they cry when you put them in the hot water or oil?
Not as far as you know.
Good. Because now I've heard that if you put lobster in hot water, they scream.
Not at all. They don't scream at all.
Okay. We're going to have to check on that sometime. Yeah. All right. Well, again, this is Dave Snyder. He's from Halyard's Restaurant and Tramichi Restaurant, and it's in the Golden Isle area. Great vacation place. And we'll be talking more with them in just a few moments. Let's head back inside now to Carrie. Welcome back, everyone. I'm here with Dave Snyder. He is the chef and owner of Halyard's Restaurant and Tramichi Restaurant, and that's in the Golden Isle area vacation spot that you guys should go check out. I definitely want to go there myself. I haven't been there, but it sounds wonderful from what he's been telling me. And he's got so much going on out here now. We visited in the last hour, and he was just preparing all of these things. So now give us a little update on what's going on here.
Oh, well, thank you very much. We made 2 different dishes that we make at Halyard's and at Tramichi, the 2 different restaurants that we have. We make a boiled peanut succotash that we serve in the middle of the summer when the corn's at its peak, and it's just wonderful and delicious. And then at Tramichi, our Italian restaurant, we serve risotto, and this is a risotto made with local clams, local shrimp, and local blue crabs.
So when I first came out here, these crabs were moving. They were fresh as fresh can be. Now they are permanently asleep.
Yes, very much asleep and very not happy. But there's nothing better than fresh seafood. And of course, you know, the wonderful produce that the state of Georgia has. There's so many wonderful things. And some people just forget that we have 110 miles of beautiful ocean coast in the state of Georgia. And it produces wonderful things. And of course, seafood. We have so many different varieties and so many different species that are available. You just can't forget about it.
And I love crab. I love seafood. Growing up in Florida, we were able to eat a lot of that. And so this looks mighty tasty, and I look forward to being able to taste test some of it.
We're going to have this for a nice breakfast, I assure you.
All right. So now there's a humongous pink fish right here on the cutting board. Who's this guy?
That is a mangrove snapper. We start to catch these this time of year off the coast of Georgia. We catch these in about 40 miles offshore. It's a long trip, but it's well worth it. Absolutely beautiful fish.
And you said this is the small one.
Yeah, this isn't the biggest mangrove snapper that we've ever caught. It's about average size, and it's really a wonderful treat to be able to bring fresh fish into the restaurants.
I bet so. And he still has his eyeball in. Are you going to cut his head off?
We're going to cut his head off and fillet him. In the next segment, we're actually going to cook the snapper for you for breakfast.
All right, I am the lucky one this morning here, being able to eat all this food. So, again, if you guys would like more information, you can go to halyardsrestaurant.com or TremichiRestaurant.com. Their phone number is 912-638-9100. And for people just joining us, why should we come over to the Golden Isle area?
It's a wonderful resort area, various islands. We've got beaches, we've got golf, we've got tennis. It's a great place to go and get married. Yeah, call us. We'll do the catering for you. But it's just a wonderful place with wonderful people, great sense of hospitality from the south, of course. So why not go and play golf and go to the beach and have some fun?
It sounds like a great time to me. I would absolutely love to go visit there. So now, what are you doing next?
Next, we're going to fillet the fish. And again, this fish is only a couple days old, and the wonderful thing about the Golden Isles is we've got all this plentiful local seafood. Crabs, trout, shrimp, of course, is the big thing that we're known for. And you've just got to come and experience it for yourself. There's nothing better than sitting on the ocean, watching the fishermen come in, and have fresh fish for dinner.
Definitely. I remember on my honeymoon, we had the privilege of being able to go to Jamaica, and they gave us a fish. It looked like they had pulled it out of the water and put it in the fryer. It had everything still on it. It was the best fish I've ever had in my life.
And it's the same thing. Again, we've got so many different fishermen that come in and bring it to us, and we pair it with local vegetables. I've got some local potatoes from Darien, which is just north of Brunswick and St. Simons Island. Farmer John brings that to us. We've got a farmer in Brantley County, Vince Baker, does some tremendous herbs and lettuces, and the jalapeno is actually from Vince. So we're very lucky that these farmers come and bring that to us, and the guys bring the stuff from the ocean. And there's recently, actually, in Golden Isles, we've got a buffalo ranch that just started, and we're bringing in our own bison.
That's amazing. So it's just wonderful you guys are able to use all of this local farm produce and herbs and fish and all of that. Wonderful you're able to do that. How did you get connected with these different people?
We were very lucky. We just reached out to them and they reached out to us. And certainly moving in the last 10 years has made it easier. So we've been able to cultivate these relationships and just keep them going because we appreciate what they do and they appreciate what we do. And we all appreciate what y'all do and come and visit us and have a great time with it.
So it's the circle of restaurant life.
Exactly, and it works.
So what are we doing next with this fish?
We're going to saute it up, and I'm going to serve it over the Bull's peanut succotash, and we're going to finish it with this delicious olive oil from Lakeland, Georgia.
And tell us a little bit more about the olive oil. We talked about it last hour, but for people just joining.
For those of you who just joined us, it's a great success story. The Shaw family from Lakeland, Georgia, which is about an hour and a half from here, made the first extra virgin olive oil since the 1800s in the state of Georgia. And they really go to really precise details to make it. It's buttery, it's creamy, it's got a hint of pepper, not much bitterness to it. They ran out of their entire production in only a few months.
Incredible. Good for them. That is just a fantastic problem to have.
Exactly, and we look forward to the next harvest.
Well, if you guys, again, would like more information, halyardsrestaurant.com, TremisiRestaurant.com. You guys are also on Facebook. What's going on with that?
We are on Facebook. We just started that. We've got a couple thousand friends. We're looking to get some more, get really people involved so they understand what we're doing for specials, what we're doing at Village Creek Landing, this catering event venue that we have. What's on for lunch at Tremichi this week? What are we doing at Halyards tonight? Okay. Great way to reach out.
All right, I love it. Well, can we go ahead and start doing the fish here?
Yeah, we'd love to do that. All right. And the beauty of fresh fish is that it's firm, it's clean, it's succulent, and what you want to look for when you're buying fish is make sure that it doesn't have a whole lot of smell to it. That means that it's fresh. And when you open up the fish, it should be nice and clean and firm, and that's what we're going to have here. And you can see the flesh is clean, it's firm, it's translucent. That's going to be good.
great tips on how to pick a fresh fish. I've always wondered that. So you're actually just cutting him. You're not scaling him or anything like that.
I cheated. I scaled him last night.
Okay, I've always wondered how to scale a fish.
It's really messy, but it's really fun. And every cat in the neighborhood will show up when you're doing it.
I bet so. They all want some fresh fish as well. And tell us, while you're doing that, multitasking, how you came to be a chef.
I was 16 years old and I was washing dishes at a restaurant up in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Great town. And I saw the guys cooking the other side of the line. And I just wanted to try it. And I fell in love with it. It's absolutely wonderful being able to create something and then serve it to someone and share it. Because cooking's all about sharing. It's sharing recipes, it's sharing time, it's breaking bread with your friends. And if you're going to eat, and you have to eat, why not eat well?
I love that. That is so true. And now tell us a couple more of your tips for when making fish. What do you think are the key elements?
The first key element is get good fish. You can make a great dish with great fish. You can't make a great dish with bad fish. And keep it simple. And that's what's great about coming to the Golden Isles is we have all this fresh fish. We don't have to cover it with a bunch of sauces. We don't have to hide it and mask it. We just use a little bit of butter, a little bit of lemon juice, and it's ready to go.
There you go. I love butter and I love lemon juice on my fish. So good and very simple and easy to make.
Exactly. And that's what we try and teach in some of our cooking classes. We do cooking classes at Halyards. And what we try and teach people is it's all about the simple methods, working with great ingredients, again, from the farmers, from the ocean, right on St. Simon's.
So now if someone would like to come to your cooking class, how do they get involved with that?
It's really simple. Go to our website, halyardsrestaurant.com. There's a link to another website called USAislandCookingClasses.com. All the information's there. We do a couple classes a month. It's really fun. We sit down, we talk about the day, we go into the kitchen, it's hands-on, getting your fingernails dirty and having fun. Then we sit down and eat what we prepared.
Love it. That is so much fun. You guys make sure you go check that out, halyardsrestaurant.com. We're going to be back with you guys in just a few minutes. But welcome back. We're here with Dave Snyder. He's the chef and owner of Halyards Restaurant and Tremici Restaurant. They're in the Golden Isles area, and we're talking all about their different meals and things they have at their restaurants. And you were telling us about what a wonderful vacation place that area is. Thanks for being here this morning.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for having us. It's a great place to go and take a vacation. I know a lot of people in this area might go south to go to the beach, but why not stay in Georgia? Georgia's got 110 miles of beautiful coast, and St. Simon's is part of that.
So now what's going on behind us? There's flames going everywhere and smoke.
We're sauteing some snapper. We've got some local snapper that I butchered up a little bit earlier. We're going to saute it in some wonderful olive oil. It's a Georgia product as well, and we're going to have that for breakfast.
And I got to sample some of the spring rolls that he did. Those were just delicious, so I'm really looking forward to trying this. It looks beautiful, nice, and is the right word seared?
Seared. This is very much seared. Nice hot pan, olive oil. It's a great healthy way to eat. We're not going to use anything heavy like a cream or a butter. We're just going to use some olive oil and some lemon juice.
Okay. And so if you guys would like more information about their restaurants, you can go to halyardsrestaurant.com or tremicirestaurant.com. They've got a Facebook page. What's going on the Facebook page?
Check out our Facebook page. We've got different links to different things. We've got a couple videos on it. We've got plenty of pictures, specials that we're running, whether it be a lunch special at Tremici or a dinner special at Halyards. We'll let you know that way.
Wonderful. So get connected there. Now, let's go back over some of the things you've already made this morning.
Well, we wanted to highlight what we really think is a wonderful thing about the Golden Isles and about St. Simon's Island. We're highlighting the seafood. And so what I brought was some local shrimp, and it's a Georgia white shrimp. It's sweet, it's very mild, and it's absolutely tender. We did some risotto with some shrimp and some local clams, and the clams are from Sapelo Island. A local farmer by the name of Charlie Phillips grows these clams. They're absolutely delicious. We've got that with some blue crab that we made. The spring rolls that you were mentioning that everybody inside ate, we made that with some shrimp as well. We took some vegetables, put that inside the rice paper, rolled it up, and we eat that cold and chilled. Of course, you can have a spring roll fried with a different sort of wrapper, but we really think a nice, light, cold appetizer on a cold morning like today. Typically, we'd have this, during the summer months when it's nice warm. It's great and refreshing, but it's the seafood that makes St. Simon's special. So we brought that today.
So tell us a little bit about your Italian restaurant. What gave you the idea to start it?
Tremici Restaurant, we just celebrated our 5th anniversary, and people said they wanted some more Italian in our small town. So we did a family-friendly sort of restaurant. We've got this gorgeous brick oven. It's called a Woodstone oven. It's 750 degrees. We do these pizzas that are about 10 inches across. They're really thin, really crispy, and the oven really makes a big difference. We've got pizzas coming out of there. The chefs make some delicious pasta dishes. We've got plenty of stuff for the kids. So it's a great place when you're tired at the beach or maybe it rains. You can come and have lunch at Tremici or have dinner.
There you go. So what sets your Italian apart from other restaurants?
We think that making everything from scratch really makes a big difference. We make our own potato dumplings. We make our own sauces. In fact, we're going to start selling one of our sauces by the jar, so that's a pretty exciting project that we're working on. But we really take pride and care in making everything from scratch, and I think that makes a big difference on the plate.
Very much so. Now, you also use local produce and herbs and things like that. Sure. Talk to us about where you get those from.
Well, this time of year, we really start to see more and more really locally. Darien, Georgia has a great co-op called McIntosh Seed. Vince Baker's a great farmer we've been dealing with. He's in Brantley County. We've got some potatoes from Darien from another farmer named John. And we really reach out to those guys, and then they find us as well, which is really great.
Wonderful. Love that. All right. How's this fish doing back here?
It's doing really well. It's about done. We're going to let it go for another minute or so, and then we're going to have that for breakfast.
Okay. So let's give a couple tips on how to sear some fish like this to folks at home.
Sure. What you want is a really hot pan. So if you're doing this inside the house, open up some of your windows, get the fans going, because you're going to create a little bit of smoke. But you want a very hot pan, and that's going to keep things from sticking. A little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt and pepper on the fish, and just let it get nice and brown like this. And then you're just going to cook it for about 2 minutes on each side, but you don't want to overcook the fish, because when you overcook it, it gets dry, and you don't want anything dry. And what we're going to finish this with is a great another Georgia product. We got olive oil from Lakeland, Georgia. It's the first olive oil made in the state of Georgia since the 1800s. Wow. Yeah, great success story. So if you're in Lakeland, Georgia, you need to check these guys out, because the Shaw family that's making this, great story.
That is so neat. And how can you tell if fish is done?
It should be flaky but not falling apart. That's what you want.
Okay. I always question that and get nervous that I'm having a little bit of sushi sometimes in my house.
But if you're buying fresh fish, and you go to a place like St. Simon's in the Golden Isles, and you're buying a quality product, sushi's a good thing.
Okay, so do you guys make sushi?
We don't do that. We might make it for family meal when the staff's eating every day, but we don't do it for the restaurant.
Okay, family meal when the staff's eating every day. What's that?
We feed our staff every day. So every day at 4:30 in the afternoon, we sit down. The cooks make lunch or dinner for everybody. The wait staff sets the table, and we sit down and we take about a 15-minute break.
I absolutely love that. Do you think that helps with bonding and working together?
It keeps the team a team. You know, you go to some businesses, some restaurants, and it's front of the house versus back of the house. We're one big happy family.
I love that. Such a sweet idea. You need to go on some of those kitchen shows and show them how it's done.
That's the real way. There's no yelling. There's no screaming. They're throwing pots. We're really successful because we have a great family of employees that work really hard.
I love that. Very sweet. Well, we're going to have more with Dave in just a few moments. Again, if you'd like more information, check him out on Facebook or HalyardsRestaurant.com or TremisiRestaurant.com. We'll be back right after this. Stay with us. Chef at Halyard's Restaurant and Tremici Restaurant. They're in the Golden Isles area, and we've been cooking all morning. He's watched the sunrise out here, cooking up some food for us. And what are you making now?
Right now we're sauteing some snapper that we got off the coast of Georgia. It's a vermilion snapper. It's absolutely delicious. We're going to fry that up in a pan nice and simply with some delicious olive oil from Lakeland, Georgia, and finish it with a lemon. Just really simple.
It sounds delicious. Now, I just sampled a shrimp. So good. What did you do to the shrimp?
The secret to boiling shrimp is to not boil it. And what I mean by not boiling it is don't have the water at 212 degrees in a rolling boil. What you want, first of all, is a really flavorful water. What we put in our water before we cook the shrimp, carrot, onion, celery, garlic, lemon, maybe a little bit of Old Bay seasoning. And then what we do is we let that sit for about 35-40 minutes, get the flavor into that water, and then we get the water down to about 180 degrees. And we add the shrimp to the water and very gently simmer it at about 160 degrees. And the shrimp become flavorful and cooked, but still tender. So make sure you don't boil the shrimp, just lightly simmer it at about 160 degrees.
And it is definitely very tender, delicious. If you guys want more information, you can go to HalyardsRestaurant.com or TremisiRestaurant.com. They also have a Facebook. And what can we find on your Facebook?
On Facebook, you can find a couple different links to a couple things that we have going on. For instance, we have a wine dinner coming on with Eberly Vineyards out of Central Coast. They're going to come down, Paso Robles. They're going to come down. We're going to do a nice wine dinner May 1st at Halyards. You'll hear about nightly specials, whether it be a great pizza special at Tremici or a lunch special at Tremici. We'll also tell you what's going on just day to day.
Wonderful. So tell us a little about your pizza at Tremici.
The pizza at Tremici is wonderful. We do really thin crust. Of course, we make our own dough every day. And we have this oven. It's called a Woodstone oven, made out west. And it's about 750 degrees inside this oven. So our pizza cooks in literally a minute and a half. So it's delicious, it's crisp, thin, just absolutely wonderful.
Love that. Sounds so delicious. Vacation spot, the place of your restaurant, wonderful vacation spot. Why should people come on out there?
Well, the Golden Isles, one, it's South Georgia. It's beautiful on the coast. We've got 100 miles of coast course in Georgia. People are really friendly. And then it's also activities. I mean, there's tremendous golf. Of course, Davis Love, Zach Johnson, and I think 4 or 5 other local. Matt Kuchar, Brant Snedeker, they all play there. We've got wonderful golf. We've got a great resort in Sea Island. We've got a great resort in King and Prince as well in Sea Palms. Jekyll Island is a great place to go. The beach is wonderful. The tennis is good. The food's wonderful. It's just a great place to even go and get married.
There you go. And so now when you jiggle the pan back here, what are you doing?
We're making sure that the fish doesn't stick. We've got a great hot pan, add just a little bit of olive oil, and it keeps the fish from sticking. And we're going to get it nice and golden brown before we cook the other side.
All right. So how do you know when to turn it over?
When it turns lightly golden brown, a little bit of a crust, we'll flip it over. And we're also going to add a little bit more olive oil that we've gotten from a great family in Lakeland, Georgia. Yeah, it's a great olive oil. It's the first olive oil made in Georgia since the 1800s. And we're just adding a little bit to the pan. You can see the fish is nice and golden brown. We're going to let it cook up for only a couple minutes. That's all it really takes. You don't want to overcook your fish, folks. Take it from some people that cook on the coast all the time. Fish, the second it turns a little bit flaky, it's ready to go.
Okay, that's a wonderful tip. Do you have any other tips for us that cook some fish at home, things we should look for?
No, just come on down to the island. I mean, it's a great place to vacation. We can cook, we can clean for you. But the best thing about St. Simon's is we've got local produce from some local farms. We've got tremendous seafood, and that's what it's all about. And that's what I want to really share with you. We've got blue crabs, we've got trout, we've got oysters, we've got clams from Sapelo Island. Offshore, we've got grouper, snapper, sea bass. And it's a great place to come and enjoy it and not have to clean up when you're done.
Very much so. I think one of the worst parts for me is actually doing the dishes, but luckily my husband sometimes does that for me too, so that's really nice.
You've got a great relationship there. My fiance, of course, we have a deal. I cook and she cleans.
There you go.
So
I think
it's absolutely great.
there you go. It works out good. Well, they brought some fresh seafood. When he brought the fish, it was a huge whole fish, still had his eye in it. He cut the head off right in front of us. It was awesome. I hope you guys were able to see that. And the crab that you brought, they were actually moving when I first came out here. Now they're cooked and they're silent. And I had to ask you, I've heard lobster scream when you put them in boiling water, and he debunked the myth. Tell us what happens.
They don't. They just go to sleep. And actually, you can take a lobster, if you flip it upside down, you can make it go to sleep by rubbing its head a little bit. It's kind of crazy, but it works.
So it's a little bit more humane?
A lot more humane. But no, and the reason I brought the fresh fish is I wanted you to taste the difference, because when you're eating at an island like St. Simon's, the fish is always fresh. You don't have to do a whole lot to it, and it tastes completely differently than fish that's a couple days old.
Now this is popping back here. Do we need to take that, or something's popping?
That would be the succotash we made. I made succotash, and of course a great southern dish. Lima beans, summer corn, peppers, of course Vidalia onions. And for those of you that don't know, the Vidalia Festival starts this week. You got to go down to Vidalia and check that out. But rather than using a black-eyed pea, we used boiled peanuts. And the great salty boiled peanut is a great contrast to the red pepper, which is of course sweet, and the corn that's sweet.
So tell us about the sauces that you have here as well.
We made a different sauce, a peanut sauce, to go with our spring roll. If you remember, we made a spring roll earlier today. It's the wild Georgia shrimp, great vegetables, clean, and we made a peanut sauce with roasted peanuts.
Yummy. Well, I'm looking forward to trying some of this in a little bit. Again, if you'd like more information, halyardsrestaurant.com, termitzirestaurant.com, and we're going to go into Cary. Now, we'll be back, though, with Dave Snyder in just a few moments, but we'll be back. Stay with us after this. All right, you guys, we're back with Dave Snyder. He's the chef and owner of Halyards Restaurant and Tremici Restaurant in the Golden Isles area. We've been talking with him all morning. He's been watching the sunrise because he's been out here since 5 a.m., a little bit earlier than that. And we've just had so much fun, and the food has been delicious.
Oh, thank you.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the vacation area and why people should come over and visit you guys.
Well, of course, it's almost summertime. We got vacation starting. Colleges and high schools get out soon. And if you're looking for something to do, stay in the state of Georgia. It's only a couple hours, straight shot down 82 for most people. And it's a great vacation spot for families to go to the beach, play golf, play tennis, read a book. There's so many different places you can stay. You can rent a condo, you can rent a house, you can stay at one of 3 great resorts. And I'd like to think that our hospitality is absolutely wonderful. It's going to want to bring you back time and again.
So what made you want to start these restaurants in that area?
You know, it was an area that had just started to turn the corner as far as amount of people coming in. There was a great opportunity, and a partner and I, we decided just to take it, and we've been very thankful ever since.
Fantastic. And you said you have been cooking since you were inspired at the age of 16.
Yeah, I've been doing this 28 years this year, 29 years, and it's absolutely wonderful because what we get to do is create something, and there's nothing better than taking a raw product and kind of finding your way to an ultimate dish and then sharing it. And there's nothing better than seeing a family come to the restaurant, and whether it's a pizza, Tremici, or it's something at Halyards, that immediate gratification, knowing that people have a wonderful time, it's a great thing to share.
Very much so. Let's talk about these dishes that you made this morning. This was fresh seafood. The fish he brought out was a full fish, had the head, the eye, everything. The crabs were alive and kicking, but he had to put him to sleep, if you know what I'm saying. So what'd you do with these items?
Well, we wanted to promote fresh seafood because, again, when you come to the coast, that's what you want. And the first thing we made was a spring roll. We poached our shrimp, and we took some wonderful vegetables, basically almost like a coleslaw of peppers and onions and mushrooms. And again, it's whatever you want. But we put that in a rice paper. We rolled it up and made these delicious spring rolls. It's a great, healthy way to eat. We did that with our local shrimp. And I'm telling you, Georgia shrimp are the best. If you ever want shrimp, make sure it's a Georgia white shrimp. But we made the spring rolls. We also made a great southern dish in succotash, which is something we serve at Halyards in the summer. It's a boiled peanut succotash with summer corn and Vidalia onions. Of course, it's shrimp festival time in Darien, Georgia, and it's Vidalia festival time up in Vidalia. So 2 festivals that you can go to and have a great time. And one thing that we inspire in people is to try something different. So when you're coming down, try a risotto dish. We have this with Sapelo Island clams, Georgia shrimp, and our Georgia blue crab. We put all that into our risotto, which is a nice comfort kind of food. We made those today.
And they were just delicious, and we're so glad that you're able to come today. If you guys would like more information, HalyardsRestaurant.com or TremiciRestaurant.com. They also have a Facebook, and your phone number, 912-638-9100. What can they find on your Facebook page?
Up-to-date events. We've got a wine dinner May 1st coming up with a winemaker from California. We're going to do a 6-course meal at Halyards. That's going to be absolutely wonderful. You also find out about specials that we might have. Tremici's open for lunch, so we announce our specials there. We also do special parties at a place called Village Creek Landing, which is our catering facility that our catering company runs. We sometimes throw events out there. So our Facebook is a great way to keep up to date with what we're doing.
And now one thing I love that he's been talking about this morning is using the local produce and herbs and things like that from people surrounding you. Let's remind all of them about that.
It's not just about the local fish that is so abundant. We also have some great farms and some great co-ops in our area. One of them in McIntosh County, just north of where we are. We've got some potatoes and some vegetables from one of the local purveyors. His name is John. He's a great guy, and he's really wonderful. Vince Baker's another farmer that we use. He's out in Brantley County. We get our herbs and lettuces from him. We're also using a somewhat local olive oil. It's local for here. It's about an hour and a half away in Lakeland, Georgia. Tremendous story. The Shaw family started an olive oil company. And it's the first olive oil in Georgia since the 1800s. Yeah, so we really love using local things.
I love that. And so that just absolutely sounds delicious. What do we have going on back here? I guess this is the risotto and the beans.
We've got the risotto. And we've got another round of succotash going right now. We're going to do that again for breakfast.
All right. Sounds good. Again, you guys can check them out on Facebook and their website, HalyardsRestaurant.com or TremiciRestaurant.com. And this has been a great morning. Been getting some seafood going on. And now tell me again about the difference between the wrapper. This is the rice paper spring roll. And then what are the other kinds?
There's another wrapper called like an egg roll wrapper. You can use that, and that's really great for frying. But again, this summertime when you want something light and crisp and cold and healthy, the rice paper is a better ingredient to use because you can serve it cold. That's what we like to do in the spring and summer. And again, I'm trying to show you the method, and if you understand that it's just whatever you want inside of it that tastes good to you, use that.
There you go. All right, you guys stay with us. We'll be back with more Good Day right after this. Welcome back, everyone. I'm here with Dave Snyder. He's the chef and the owner of Halyards Restaurant and Tremici Restaurant in the Golden Isles area. And that's St. Simons Island and Jekyll Island. How many islands are over there?
There are 3 islands that we call the Golden Isles: St. Simons, Jekyll, and Sea Island. But, you know, within just a couple miles, we've got Sapelo Island to the north, we've got Cumberland Island to the south, and all these barrier islands are great places for people to take a vacation.
Wonderful. We've been cooking up a storm, or he's been cooking up a storm out here today. Right now he's got some risotto. What's in the risotto?
We're featuring a local produce, but more importantly, local seafood, because we think that's a great reason to come and visit the Golden Isles. We've got Sapelo Island clams, local shrimp, and local blue crab that we've got in the risotto this morning.
And it all tastes delicious. I've been able to sample little bits and pieces of everything and trying to stay away from the flames back here. If you guys would like more information on these two restaurants, you can go to halyardsrestaurant.com or tremichirestaurant.com. They also have separate Facebook pages, and you can find all kinds of stuff on your Facebook page. What kind of stuff can you find?
Certainly, what we're trying to do in communicating with y'all is by using Facebook to tell you about special events. For instance, we've got a wine dinner coming up. Halyards is going to do a wine dinner featuring the Eberly Vineyard from Paso Robles, California. We're going to do that on May 1st. You'll hear about that. You'll hear about lunch specials at Tremichi. You'll hear about catering parties that we might be doing out at Village Creek Landing. It's just a great way to keep up with what's going on.
So tell us a little bit about Tremichi Restaurant. It's an Italian restaurant. What kind of things do you have going on?
Well, we love Tremichi because it's the more casual of the two restaurants that we have, so it's a great place that you can go to a couple times a week. It's family friendly. We have pizzas, we have pastas, we have risottos, and we take pride in the fact that we make just about everything. I think other than the bread and the gelato, we make everything in-house.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. So we've got families that come once or twice a week. It's located right across the parking lot from the movie theater. So we've got this great deal. If you want to go to a movie on St. Simon's, you go to the bar with our great bartenders and you get a slice of pizza, you get an adult beverage, you get a ticket to the movie and a popcorn for $13.
Oh, that's incredible. That's good.
Well, it's a lot of fun, and that's what we want at both of our restaurants. People come to the beach for vacation to have fun, not get stiff and not get too formal. So by going to either one of the restaurants, you can just sit down in the courtyard that we have at both restaurants. You can relax and have a beverage before you go and have dinner. And then at dinner time, we want you to have fun with our food. So whether it's a pizza or a risotto at Tremichi, or it's a great piece of fish or a crab cake at Halyards, we think that we've got a great thing going for you.
Wonderful. So tell us about Halyards.
Halyards, great restaurant. We're very lucky. We just celebrated our 12th anniversary. The community is taking great care of us, and hopefully we're taking good care of them. We pride ourselves on using local produce, which is some of the things I brought today. We've got potatoes from Darien. We've got herbs and lettuces that we get from Brantley County, some of which is organic. We're promoting, of course, the Vidalia onions. This is the time for great Vidalia onions. We love this olive oil from Lakeland, Georgia. And we use a lot of these local products to create some fun dishes. And we want people to have fun. Again, that's what I said, and it's a great place to go and do that.
And so since I came back, you've brought out some mint right here. What'd you do with that?
The mint and the basil we used on our spring rolls earlier, and I used a little bit of the basil just now to put in risotto. And herbs are a great way to, be healthy. They've got some great vitamins for you. They also look good, but of course it's the essence and the smell and the aromas that the herbs give you. So we put some basil in risotto.
And it does smell delicious out here, and the heat from the fire's been keeping us warm because it's a little chilly this morning. Were you expecting that?
We weren't expecting this at 4:30 this morning when we got here, but it's okay. The flames have kept us going. The sun's out. It's a beautiful day, and we're having a lot of fun. And this afternoon, actually, I'm going to travel a little bit south of here, and we're going to go visit some more farmers. We're going to go and check out the olive oil production facility and go through the groves there. We're going to visit a pecan farm. We're going to go see another onion farm and try and find some more local products and some more local producers that we can help support, because if we support Georgia, everybody wins.
I agree. And so what is your favorite thing to make at your restaurant?
I love making Asian-inspired dishes, and one of my favorite dishes is take a whole piece of fish, maybe it's a piece of snapper or a piece of grouper, putting it in a little bit of tin foil with a little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of lime juice, and then you close it and you seal it and you put it in the oven about 350 degrees for about 15 minutes, and the flavors all steam inside the tin foil together. You open it up, the aromas come out, and it's a great light dish.
That sounds incredible, definitely. And we're going to be back with them in just a few moments. We're keeping them here. They've been here since this morning cooking up some wonderful food. Again, halyardsrestaurant.com, tremichirestaurant.com. And they have separate Facebook pages you can go to find out more information. And we'll be back in just a few moments, so stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. I'm here with Dave Snyder. We've been out here with him all morning. He's been cooking up some wonderful seafood. He is the chef and owner of Halyards Restaurant and Tremichi Restaurant in the Golden Isles area, which is a great vacation spot we've been learning about this morning. And so what is the final thing that you've made here today?
We're going to finish up with a little bit of nice warm risotto since it's a little chill out here. We've got local clams, local shrimp, local crab, local herbs. It's all about local, and we're going to finish it with some of that tremendous olive oil from Lakeland, Georgia.
Right. So we get to taste test it. Now, she doesn't like seafood, so she's opted out of this morning, but I'm going to try it because I love seafood and I'll eat fish all day. If you guys would like more information, you can go to halyardsrestaurant.com or TremichiRestaurant.com. Their phone number is 912-638-9100. And they also have 2 separate Facebook pages, so you guys can find out all the information about them. And tell everybody once again what a great vacation spot and why they should come over to your restaurant.
Well, we've got tremendous beaches, great golf courses. The McGladrey Classic is a great PGA event that we have in October. I think Gary Allen's the event concert player this year. That's going to be a lot of fun. We've got great restaurants, wonderful places that you can rent, condos, homes, resorts, and everybody's just really friendly. We'd like to take good care of our guests.
There you go. Well, Carrie, you want to take the mic and I'll do a little taste test here?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I got 2 mics now. I feel special.
Here you go. Try some of that.
Here's a spoon.
This is heavy. I'll take the spoon.
Creamy, buttery.
It smells good.
And that's
It is really good.
With the local products and the local fish, you can't go wrong.
You can definitely taste the butter. I love butter. I was just telling them that. Butter, heavy cream, put it on everything. But it is absolutely delicious and very good. We've been cooking out here. He watched the sunrise this morning. They were here
Aw.
very, very early, just making all this food. And let's talk a little bit, Carrie, if you want to give him the mic, then we'll talk about the produce that you guys use and where you get it from.
We use a couple different local farmers. One's in Darien, just north of us. One's in Brantley County, just a little bit west of us. We got our potatoes, our herbs. Of course, this time of year with the Vidalia onions starting to come into their full swing with a festival this week. We've got some Vidalia onions, but it's really about finding those relationships with people that really want to grow tremendous herbs and tremendous products and share them, because what we want to do is we want to share that with y'all and with you at home. It's all about being able to keep that experience going right from the ground, right from the ocean, and bringing it to the table.
And talk about the crabs that you had here this morning. When we came in, when I came out here, one of the little guys was actually waving hello to me.
Yes.
He was alive and well.
That was then and this is now. But it's a blue crab, and I think because of the tremendous estuary that we have, Georgia has over 30% or over, I think it's actually over a third of all the marsh on the eastern seaboard, but it's a tremendous estuary. It's so full of nutrients that the crabs have such a great diet of bait fish, quite frankly, that the flavor is very sweet and very succulent. So we brought the blue crabs, we cooked them up, and of course they turn red when you cook them, but the meat just falls apart. It just tastes like butter, and that's what we put in the risotto as well.
Very good. All right. And so let's touch again on the spring rolls.
The spring roll we made first this morning. It's a great healthy way to eat. It's a rice paper that you wrap different vegetables in. We've got basically a coleslaw mixture of vegetables, and we poach the delicious Georgia shrimp. At Halyards and Tremichi and our catering company, Halyards Catering, we serve only wild Georgia shrimp. And this time of year, they're really, really special. But we put those inside the wrapper, rolled it around, and then we had a flavored soy sauce and a peanut sauce that we served it with.
So now, why do you personally love being a chef in this area?
It's all, like I said earlier, it's all about sharing. And to me, there's nothing better than using the creative side of my brain and taking something raw from the earth or from the ocean and creating something with it and being able to share that with people. And especially people that might come from this side of the state that come to the ocean. It's about experiencing seafood that literally is a day old.
That's just wonderful. So now, what do you think has been the craziest thing that you've ever eaten?
That I've ever eaten? Sea urchin, probably.
What does that taste like?
If you don't like seafood, you really don't want a sea urchin.
I've seen sea urchins. I just turned my head.
Yeah.
But
Great, it's great, salty and briny, but it's a weird texture that most people don't really enjoy. I happen to like it.
What does it look like?
Pudding.
Okay.
It doesn't look like a fish, not at all. But it's probably the strangest thing I've ever eaten.
All right. Well, again, if you guys would like more information, halyardsrestaurant.com, TremichiRestaurant.com. Their phone number is 912-638-9100. Now, outside of being a chef and cooking all this wonderful food, what are some things you like to enjoy in the area?
I love fishing. So for me, it's a natural. I love just going on the boat with my fiance and just enjoying the water and being out in the ocean. It's a really special day for me.
do you ever use the fish that you catch to make dinner later, or do you just catch and release?
We do. We actually I have a commercial fishing license.
Okay.
So again, by getting onto Facebook, we will tell you that I went out and caught the fish today and we're serving it for dinner tonight.
Awesome. That's the best kind of fish. I mean, I don't eat it, but everybody that I know that does is like the fresher the fish, the better it is. So that's awesome.
All right, well, we appreciate you being here with us again. This is Dave Snyder. He's from Halyards Restaurant and Tremici Restaurant in the Golden Isles area. You can check them out on Facebook, also halyardsrestaurant.com, tremicirestaurant.com. And thank you so much for joining us this morning. You were out here braving the cold air, and we really appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for having me.
All right, you guys can join us in the morning at 5 a.m. We'll see you then.